Hey yo, another day, another shenanigans to dive into with your boy Raymundo. Welcome back to the channel. Now I got a clip today of a chick who met this dude online, and well, when they finally linked up, he didn't measure up and she tried to make the best of it, but she just couldn't. Now before we dive into it, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, show the channel some love, cue the clip.
I'm gonna make a story time right quick. So boom, I go on a date with this nigga, right? I never met him before. We was always chatting or whatever. He was right down the street from me. We finally got the courage to link up. Cool. So we go to this bar that we both familiar with. So we go in, mind you, he not like his pictures. Like he shorter than what I thought he would be. I'm talking about like 4'11" short. Like I had to bend down and give him a hug type shit short. So that was, you know, I don't judge heights, but I kind of like shook me a little bit. Anyway, we go inside the restaurant, whatever. The waitress come like, what would you want? So the first thing he ordered was some shots. He like, you want to take a shot? XYZ. So I'm like, nah, I ain't really eat nothing today, so I can't really take no shots or whatever. So he like, well, I'm finna give me a shot. Cool. Mind you, when he first linked with me, he looked already drunk and high. Like his eyes was low as shit. Like he just, first impressions mean everything to me. So I'm just looking at this nigga, this nigga geeked up and shit, linking with me like, So I was really kind of turned off by that shit. Anyway, he asked the waitress for 3 shots or whatever. So she like, okay, cool. He asked for tequila, 3 shots of tequila. Cool. She come with his shots. He's taking them back to back. So he's asking the waitress for more shots or whatever. So as he's taking the shots, he's asking me more weird shit. He like, mind you, I need to fill in on my lashes. So he's staring at me. He like, who do your lashes? And now I'm feeling like he trying to be funny. Like, I don't know. I just got that like, you trying to be funny, nigga? Like, he like, who do your lashes? So I'm like, wow, you must gonna pay for the next set. He like, damn, I can't ask you who do your lashes. I'm like, that's a pretty odd question for a man on the first date with a female to ask who do her lashes, unless you got a little sister, something you trying to put on or something. He like, nah, I'm just trying to figure out who do your lashes. So you don't got a little sister, you don't got nobody trying to like, you know, you just want to know who do my lashes. Okay, nigga, you trying to be funny next. I cleared that up real fast. So then I had a chain on at the time. So he like, how much your chain cost? Mind you, I feel like at this time, I feel like this nigga drunk. I'm like, yeah, because I ain't take no shots. I'm just watching this nigga. He like, how much your chain cost? Tell me why these niggas be trying to humble. I feel like what I got from that lesson on that weird ass date was niggas be trying to humble bitches. Like, who you be thinking you is, baby? You 4'11" high ass nigga. So date over with. Cool. He paid for everything. He walking me to my car. I'm just trying to like get to my car, but I'm not trying to be rude about it and like not trying to make it obvious like that I'm ready to get. I'm still trying to keep shit cute because that's just how I am. So I'm like, cool. We walk to my car. We this close to my car. So he like, oh, I forgot to tell you. I forgot to compliment the shit that you got on. I'm like, oh, thank you. You've been kind of complimenting me all night. I really appreciate that. This nigga gonna come out and say, I never complimented you. I've been complimenting the shit that you got on. Like he said it just like that. I don't compliment you. I compliment the shit you got on. I'm sorry, sister. My bad, miss girl. I'm sorry, ma'am. Like, damn, what did I do to you? Like now I feel like he got some secret. No, he said it with an attitude too. Like, I never complimented you. I complimented the shit you got on, baby. Like, my bad, sis. Like, what? I feel like we beefing or something. Like, I don't know. I just feel like when you get these niggas drunk or something, they really be hating you. Like, niggas really hate these females. Like, I swear to God, they hate you. Real life.
So here's my thing. What about him before the date actually made you want to go out with him on the date? Because I mean, there should be a vetting process. I mean, I don't know whether y'all just text the entire time off of Facebook, whatever site it was that you were on, and then you just decide to go on a date. Why wasn't a conversation held beforehand? You know, kind of would make sense to know who it is that you're actually going out with before you actually go out. And I mean, from what it sounds like, he has an ego, and if you would have had a conversation with him beforehand, you should have taken notice of that. Now, what I would honestly say is be selective with who you choose and who you spend your time with. Make sure that you vet and you get a quality candidate. But hey, what do I know?
So this preacher, you are gonna hate this preacher.
So I know you don't like me, but I'm divine.
Now his name is Lamore, and Lamore works as a mortgage broker. And one day in 2004, he decides he wants to be rich. So, how's he gonna get rich? Well, see, Lamore is dating a woman who works at a car dealership, and she has access to all the customers' credit reports and personal information. And so Lamore steals her work login info, and I guess on his own computer, he uses it to access all the customers' information. And then he takes out loans and lines of credit in these customers' customers' names. He then takes that money and he uses it to buy himself nice cars, nice clothes, jewelry. He buys himself a motorcycle. Oh, and he doesn't just steal the identity of 1 or 2 people. He steals the identity of over 50 different people, and apparently takes out more than $2 million in loans. And of course, people eventually catch on and they report him, and bam, he gets arrested. Here's his mugshot. And so he spends 5 years in prison, and he never does anything else bad again ever in his life. Until... So while he's in prison, one day Lamore gets an idea. I'm guessing he gets this idea in prison. I actually don't know where he got it. But at some point, Lamore realizes that he can really profit off of religion. So in 2013, he gets out. And within a few weeks of getting out, he sets up his own church, and he becomes the bishop of that church. And he starts it out of his home with a small group of people, and he eventually moves it to a more legitimate building space. And of course, with a guy like Lamore, what he's preaching is the prosperity gospel, which suggests that being wealthy will actually get you closer to heaven.
God chose me to be a preacher. Y'all think I want to be a preacher? I don't get paid from preaching.
Now, this is why you have to be careful, because he's simply feeding his ego and his appetite for greed, and he's doing it at your expense because, well, you're desperate. And it's a good thing to be desperate, but at the same time, you have to make sure that you're being desperate in the right situation and you're not just falling for the okie doke. You have to use logic. God gave you logic, so use it. Don't get fooled by these snake oil salesmen. Just saying.
Oh, he definitely gets paid from preaching. Not only that, he makes sure to show off his wealth in front of his congregation. Like he'll preach to them wearing tailor-made designer suits, like this one, or like this one. He also wears nice rings and watches while he preaches. Even when he's not at church, he's always decked out in some super expensive designer shit. So, where's he getting the money to pay for all this stuff? His congregation, of course. And he's not just allegedly skimming from the donations. No. It's way more direct than that. Like one day, he calls up one elderly woman in his congregation, and he cons her into handing over her retirement fund. Like he tells her that he can improve her credit score and help her purchase and renovate a new home if she just invests with him. And she believes him, and she hands over $90,000. And of course, instead of helping her improve her credit score or buy a house, Lamore takes the money and he heads straight to Louis Vuitton, where he gets himself some new drip. He also puts the money towards some payments on a BMW. And as you can imagine, pretty quickly after starting his church, Lamore becomes the richest bishop on the block. Like he's driving around in a Rolls Royce. He also apparently has another Rolls Royce. This one's actually worth $350,000, by the way. He's also living in a 9,000 square feet mansion.
And I'm gonna walk y'all into my prayer closet. This is my prayer closet. Got all my priestly robes, designer coats, you name it, Gucci, Louis, you name it. Fendi, you name it. Designer wear for days.
Not only that, he's getting kind of a JV celebrity status from all this, and people start calling him the Bling Bishop.
Now, outside of this guy who's obviously a fraud, why does a preacher need all that? Why does a preacher need all the flash when the keys to happiness don't rely in material things? But yet, people continue to give their money away thinking that they're buying salvation when, well, Christ told you to pick up your own cross.
And from there, his Instagram blows up to 1.3 million followers, and known people start affiliating with him. Like, here's footage of 50 Cent speaking at his church. Here he is apparently hanging out with Fat Joe. Here he is with Tracy Morgan. Here he is with Ja Rule. Here he is hanging out with New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who's another shady guy that we talked about in a previous video, if you remember. Okay, but then something kind of crazy happens. Something that starts to change everything. One day in 2022, he's up in front of his congregation, preaching or whatever. And that is when suddenly, boom, 3 men in masks bust into the building and they have pew-pews. And Lamore is live streaming this sermon, so you can actually see the moment he realizes these men are there to rob him.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo. All right.
And you can see him here laying down on the floor, and then you can see these men come up and rob him. And they apparently steal $1 million worth of jewelry from the people there, including Lamore's watch and chain. His watch is a Rolex valued at $75,000. His chain is valued at $400,000. And he live streams afterwards and talks about all this.
They took all of my wife's jewelry and took all of my jewelry, and then they left.
And so like this story breaks and reporters are hitting him up and they're asking him if he's gonna wear less jewelry in church so that he's less likely to get robbed.
Are you gonna wear less bling so you're less of a target?
I will wear what I've been blessed with by God when I feel like it.
Now police eventually end up catching the guys who did it. But this live stream footage of the robbery blows up. Because it's a crazy moment, a bishop getting robbed in the middle of a sermon on a live stream? Like, what are the odds? And so this story ends up all over the news.
A Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera.
And people hear about it, and they're like, wait a minute, why was this preacher wearing a Rolex and a $400,000 chain? Where's bro getting all this money? And so allegedly, this is when reporters really start looking into him. And one day, also allegedly, some of them show up to his house to see if they can get a statement from him about some of the bad press he's been getting. You know, that big-ass house that he owns? But when they get there, supposedly, they notice that there's a foreclosure notice on his door. And they see this and they're like, what the hell is going on? Is the bling bishop actually broke? Apparently, yes. He had been spending all this money on his lifestyle, and at some point he starts running into money problems. Like he's failing to make payments on those luxury cars that he got, he gets sued a couple of times over failing to make loan repayments, and so it seems like Lamore needs money real bad, and he starts getting pushy about getting it. And one day, he tries to target this guy, Brandon. Brandon owns a local auto body repair shop. And I have no idea how these two guys know each other, but at some point, Lamore tries to get $5,000 from him. And he threatens to use force if he doesn't get it. So I guess he's like, I'll kick your ass if you don't give me $5 grand. And if that isn't bad enough, then he tries to get Brandon to lend him $500,000. And in exchange, he promises to give him access to New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Told you that guy was shady. But Brandon is like, F all this, and he turns on him and he starts cooperating with the FBI. And the FBI sets up a whole sting operation and they get Brandon to wear a wire and meet up with Lamore. And so he meets up with Lamore. And Lamore swears to him that he has connections with Mayor Eric Adams and whatever business scam he's trying to get him into is gonna make them millionaires. And this whole conversation is recorded for the feds to hear. And eventually, after a long investigation, the feds find him and bam, they arrest him. Here's his mugshot. And he goes to trial and he's found guilty for wire fraud and a bunch of other stuff, and he's sentenced to 9 years in prison. Wow.
Man, ain't God good? I mean, come on now. This all started from you getting robbed. Thanks to your chain, thanks to your watch. Well, it put everybody on notice, and well, the universe gave you that negative karma that you've been putting out, and well, had to pay the piper. I will.
Our main event tomorrow night.
You know what? We don't even have to wait for Saturday night. Nah, we don't have to wait to promote the fight anymore, because honestly, there isn't going to be a fight. Oh, there's going to be an unalivened, and I'm going to take the time that comes with it. That's crazy. Like, to spit in somebody's face like this. Like, to sell a fight. Like, I know dudes that hate each other, but to spit in a man's face, yeah, that's something you possibly cannot come back from. Man, I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy, man. Until the end, make sure that you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Until next time, I'm out.